I should have left. I should have gone. Hello, everyone. There is a cat in a box. But we do not take this cat home, because we're playing Do Not Take This Cat Home. Alright, so last time we took this cat home on a rainy day, didn't end so well for us. Ended actually pretty badly in our kitchen. Then we took this cat home, bright sunny day, which then ended very poorly for us in our living room, or our foyer. So today, we're not taking the cat home. Alright, so once again, it's a sunny day. And we see the cat box. We do not take the cat home. Sadly, as cute as the cat is, never take this thing home with you. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm learning. Just can't take it home with you. You're a responsible adult. Oh, poor baby. Don't look at me that way. You are... With rent and bills to pay for, not to mention you buy food to survive too. There's no way you could care for a cat long term, right? And you can barely afford this little outing on your day off. Oh, baby. What to do? Leave cat, feed cat, play with cat. On second thought, I think we will leave the cat. We gotta walk on by. Maybe another day we'll feed it. You don't think it's a good idea to get the cat's hopes up of having someone look after it if you're not willing to commit. What if you get attached and it somehow tracks you down back to your home? You'd never get away from it? Sorry, see you around, I guess. Oh, you stand up, the cat watches your every move. Oh, baby! You make it halfway in the alley. You make it halfway out of the alley when the cat meows almost pitifully at you. Oh, baby! Bye, kitty cat. Nope. You need to nip this in the bud and get on with your day. It's what's best for the both of you. You leave the alley and continue on your way. Oh, bye, kitty cat! What was I doing? In all the excitement of dealing with your furry dilemma, you'd forgotten that you still hadn't decided on what you were going to do for your day off. Go watch a movie, go to the carnival, go to the dog park. Well, we don't have a dog. We just said no to a cat, so why would we torture ourselves and go watch things at a dog park? Let's go to the movies. It's been a while since a film came out that looked interesting enough for you to drag yourself to a movie theater. But there's a showing of one such film in the old theater. The movie was a little too niche to be picked up by the new cinema that opened right across the street. That's okay though, you're not exactly a fan of the crowds. Go to the old theater, go to the new cinema. Let's go to the old theater, why not? You eagerly buy your ticket from a kind old man in the booth and head inside. It's barren of any trace of other people, and the decor looks like it hasn't changed since the 80s. Maybe even the 70s. But it's what you were counting on. You consider buying some popcorn, but you can't help but be concerned when everything at the concession stand might be expired. To be fair, stale-ish popcorn? Pretty legit still. You move on and walk through the halls, finally locating the theater designated on your ticket. As expected, the theater your movie will be playing in is completely empty. Perfect. I love when I have theaters to myself. I especially love when I'm watching a horror movie myself or a comedy, and then I can just I don't have a cute laugh. I have a deep in my belly, make the room rumble laugh. So, love that. You pick a spot right in the middle, even counting the seats and taking into consideration the gap of the staircase. As you settle in, the dim lights fade away, leaving the room pitch black for a few seconds. Before the screen flickers on. No commercials or trailers pop up, the movie just begins. Oh, okay. Pleased, you shrug and let yourself get immersed in the opening scene. But just as you're getting into the premise, the doors open behind you, momentarily casting light into the room, ruining the atmosphere. You hold in a frustrated sigh. It's a public establishment after all. The place can't exactly afford to stay open if you're the only customer. You try to refocus on the movie, but you sense the new presence slowly shifting around the theater before heading in your general direction. What? Rude, dude. You gape in utter disbelief as the stranger shuffles down the aisle, only to sit right in front of you. I mean, I've had that. Granted, some older cinemas like this, where it's sort of like flatter, it can become harder. But in most of the theaters that I've been in, like even if someone sits right in front of me, I'm literally like a good 4 feet above them. There's no one else here and plenty of spaces to sit. The stranger is also unusually tall. Even with the stadium like arrangement of the seats being on a somewhat steep incline, they're completely blocking your view. Oh, okay, so sitting down, he's like at least 4 feet tall just from his like waist up. Move to another spot, confront the stranger. Let's just move. You don't want to risk escalating the situation further. I mean, he's just here trying to watch the movie too. He probably wanted like my seat. He thought the one closer would be adequate enough. I'm not going to cause a stir. I'm getting into the movie. Let's just be cool about this. Why would they choose to sit right in front of you? Surely they know you wouldn't be able to see past them. I mean, some people really aren't self aware. Shaking your head with a passive aggressive scoff at the stranger's direction, you reluctantly pick another, less perfect seat in the theater. But as you settle down, you see the strange person getting up, only to once again sit in the seat directly in front of you. You look around somewhat helplessly as if waiting for someone to silently agree with you about how odd all of this is. Okay, well, now he's just being a jerk. Or to at least inform you that it's all an elaborate prank. But there's no one else here with you. That's how you've always liked it, but can't help but think that maybe it would be nice to have someone else here if it meant not being alone with this weird jerk. Move to another spot, confront the stranger. We'll move again. I mean, if he just gets that we'll keep moving, he'll stop. If like this is his whole shtick, if we do it again, like maybe we'll leave, or maybe like we'll try and go find an usher or something. You move again. And again, they sit right in front of you. You bristle, annoyed, and a little humiliated. Why? He's the jerk in this. I shouldn't be embarrassed. Are they just getting a kick out of this or something? You've wasted enough time with this jerk that you don't even know what's going on in the movie anymore. I would confront him. You hate confrontation, but you can already feel your palms starting to sweat at the idea of it. Your throat's closing up and your body's starting to shake. You've always been more of a flighter than a fighter. But you paid for this ticket. Exactly, I paid for this. I have every right to be here and enjoy this, and if he's gonna be a jerk about it, he can leave. I'm doing everything right. You've wanted to watch this movie for ages. And now this total stranger has ruined the entire experience for you. You're all alone in this theater. There's no one who will help you if something goes wrong. I mean, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? I mean, don't actually. I live in Colorado. I know what can happen, but you're angry enough that you ignore the signs of your body begging you to put as much distance as you can between yourself and the stranger. You stand up. Even standing and higher up on the incline, the stranger is still at least a head taller than you. The movie continues to play in the background, but you feel as if a hush immediately falls heavily over the theater. I think my headphones died because I realized I can't hear anything. Okay, I just changed my headphones and I did not realize that my heart is like beating in my ears. Ooh. So you feel a hush immediately fall heavy over the theater as you're at your movement. As if you can sense the stranger anticipating what you plan to do next. You square your shoulders, force a little bass in your. The effort makes your words come out more harshly than you intended, like a sudden and vicious bark. But you figure they deserve it anyway. You're being a real jerk, you know that? Just what are you playing at, huh? Are you trying to piss me off? The silence that follows your words is deafening. So much so that you glance at the screen only to find that the movie has paused. Your attention is ripped back to the stranger in front of you as they shift slightly, like a small animal trying desperately to anticipate the moves of a predator. Don't move. Don't look away. Don't dare to blink. Ooh, ooh. Instead, your eyes widen at as the person's head turns. Then turns some more. Then turns more, beyond what should be possible, neck bones cracking, to face you directly. You can't move. Wide glowing eyes resting above a wider grinning mouth gaze down at you. The stranger opens their mouth and comes at you. It's something impossible to comprehend. I should have left. I should have gone. I should have done something else. The voice is endlessly deep and creaks like a weighty door, foreboding, oddly melodic, alluring. But it also snaps you out of your terrified trance, and before you know it, you're already out the door. You run through the halls of the empty theater, heading for the exit. You feel something watching you from behind, but you're too afraid to look. The exit now in sight, you sprint forward and burst through the doors. You look around frantically and spot the crowded cinema across the street. People, that's what you need. Safety in numbers and all that. Without thinking, you rush into the street with a sinking sensation crawls down your spine, compelling you to look behind you. Go to the new cinema. Don't look behind you. 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 Look behind us. Despite your resistance, you feel your head turning back of its own accord, while in the middle of the street, you catch a glimpse of the grotesque-looking person standing behind the glass door of the old theater, watching you intensely, cradling something in their arms. Something familiar. But... Ah! The glimpse is all you get as a truck speeds forwards and crashes into your body. You're killed on impact, and your body splatters across the road and crushed further under the heavy tires. What was that? Ending 16, a poor screening arrangement. Okay. I have to know. What happens if we run to the cinema? Same outcome? Alright. What happens if we go to the new cinema instead? Refusing to even risk a peek over your shoulder, you rush across the street to the new cinema theater. You didn't realize that it felt like you've been surrounded by some kind of dreadful pressure. Until it very suddenly vanishes, leaving you feeling more than a little shaken, but at least breathing comes in. You think it's within your best interest to repress everything that just happened. Yeah. Deciding to wait for the movie you've been anticipating to be available on DVD or streaming. Join the long line outside the new cinema. By the time you've reached the ticket booth, you just want to get inside. So you pick a movie at random and take your ticket from the tired-looking teenager manning the booth. The decor is chic and sleek, and the inside is bustling with people. It's not what you're usually into, but it's kind of nice not being alone, even if you feel a little lonely watching with families and groups of friends laughing among themselves. You get some popcorn, but the lines at the concession stands are long and the prices are criminal anyway. You go through the halls and follow the signs to the theater designated on your ticket before heading inside. You sigh at the sight of the absolutely crowded theater. You head towards the seat only to be told by the person next to it that it's being saved for something. This happens a few more times before you finally manage to get yourself settled into a seat, annoyingly off-center of the screen. But the screen is at least visible, if not a little too close, so you grit your teeth and bear it. The lights fade out, but the chatter doesn't. Sometimes it's actually, I don't prefer to sit, super close, but sometimes it's nice to, be in a theater and get a different perspective from a movie. The rest of the audience seems content to talk through the commercials and even through the trailers. You figure the chatter will stop when the movie actually begins, but it doesn't get even slightly quieter as the opening scenes play out. You sigh out loud, not thinking anyone would hear you anyway. This is why you avoid movie theaters like the plague. Oh! Did I see a cat movie? Suddenly the screen changes, showing the face of a black cat. A familiar black cat. Confused murmurs fill the room, but then the cat on the screen meows. Ooh, I don't like that. That sounds too familiar. The sound is strange, not at all like any cat should sound. Haunting, almost melodic. And layers of it, made of multiple voices of different creatures. They're creatures that would probably never say, okay. You sit in confusion, wondering why you haven't already gotten up and left to complain to the cinema staff. But then you hear it. It's scattered and despondent. But among the crowd, people start to chant along with the cat on the screen. Am I in the Twilight Zone? What is going on? Oh no, I don't like this. Soon the entire room is chanting in perfect unison, everyone staring intently at the cat on the screen. You're feeling strangely drawn to the screen itself. But the compulsion to stare blankly like the others isn't that strong. For now. Also, you start to notice out of the corner of your eye that some of the people in your immediate vicinity are looking at you. Oh, they're outright staring holes into you, even as they continue chanting. They don't miss a beat as they slowly begin to frown at you in blatant disapproval. Their scowls deepen as time goes on, as if they're getting impatient. Try to blend in with the crowd. Leave or blend in? Let's blend in. Thinking fast, you look at the screen and begin to chant in tandem with the crowd. Nya, nya, nya. You feel the harshness of their collective gaze starting to ebb away, the air in the theater becoming lighter once again. You release air shakily, just realizing that you've been holding your breath earlier. You feel stuck. Surely you can't just up and leave now. Not after whatever all that was. The people around you all seem fine now. But there's no telling if they'd get aggressive at you for even moving too much. Never mind outright getting up and leaving. You decide to let this run its course. Hopefully someone will come along, right? Or at least turn the film off. You continue to chant along with everyone. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Starts to feel lightheaded. Feel as if you could fall asleep, but your eyes don't feel heavy in the slightest. You try to look around and gauge the other's emotional state. You can't seem to look away from the screen. You try again, but you're still locked into eye contact with the cat on screen. I forgot the cat was making noise too. Yeah. You attempt to physically force your line of vision away. You steel your nerves, ready to throw yourself to the ground if you need to. but your body only gets as far as tensing up for a moment before completely losing itself again, making you lay back limply into your seat. I think you should be panicked right about now, but even your brain feels limp. Your thoughts are vaguely muted pastel pink, airy, sickeningly sweet and loosely spun, like cotton candy. You like cotton candy. You think you shouldn't mind your thoughts and body being like cotton candy either. So, when you get up, why would get up and ruin that? It's nice here. You're more at peace than you've ever felt before in such a crowded room. Still chanting, you've never felt so aligned and in tune with another person, let alone with an entire room of complete strangers. You're not alone. Out of the corner of your eye, the person next to you starts to sink back even further into their chair. Then they sink more. Then more. Not like they're slouching or reclining, but more like they're deflating. Their skin bunches up in wrinkles like fabric as if their bones have started to disintegrate. Their eyes dim before sinking into their sockets. Their mouth, still attempting to chant, falls open over a cut-off "yeah," gaping as the word ends in an awful hiss. A final, weak release of air. You muse thoroughly about whether or not you should be distressing at the sight. But even then, the blanket of peace doesn't leave you. Suddenly, from the pile of skin and clothes next to you, you see a lump moving. You watch in dazed fascination as the lump makes its way to the part of the skin where the head used to be, and from out of the mouth crawls a tiny black kitten. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can hear the familiar hissing sound all around you now as the unified chants start to fade, only to be replaced with the faint meowing of kitten. Finally, your voice is the only one still chanting, still human, and alone. Again. You don't want that. You can't go back to that. Not again. Not again. Please. Just then, you go completely limp. Your body feels light, but it might as well weigh several tons, because you realize quite suddenly that you can't move. Not an inch. You can't shift your eyes to look around. You can't even breathe. But somehow, the chant continues to creak weakly from your mouth. Yeah. 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 A few kittens come forward and perch themselves on the chairs around you, watching your sinking body, meowing as they wait for their youngest sibling to emerge from you. Dozens of glowing eyes peer down at you, and as your eyes start to cave into the sockets of your softening skull, you manage to make out the silhouettes of a familiar cat perched on the seat right in front of you. Your vision finally fades, and as the same hiss of air expels from your mouth, the last thing you sense is something small and alive shifting eagerly under your skin. Ending 18. Happy birthday! That was the old theater. These were the old theater endings. I don't think there was anything in there that, anything else I could have done at the old theater beyond that. Oh, except just leave. Let's try that. Let's see what happens if I leave. Alright, we're just gonna go ahead and leave. This is too weird. Feeling uncomfortable, you decide to leave the theater. There's still enough time left in the day to do something else. Now what? Oh, okay. So then I can just go to the new cinema. What happens if I confront him earlier on? Confront the stranger first time. Same thing. Okay, good. Okay, so those were the old theater endings. Lovely. And I think technically a new theater ending. I think next time we might try and go to the new theater first. Or maybe next time we'll check out, I don't know, the dog park? Sound good? Let me know in the comments below where you think we should go. If you made it this far in the video, go ahead and leave a like. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Or if you're not new and just haven't subscribed yet. And I will see you next time.